I shoot your guns better.
It's like this. You got the mag in there.
This thing, I'll tell you why I love this thing.
So, load it up. That's what I mean by
Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. Today I've got a really cool pistol from Ruger on the table. This is the Ruger Charger. It's based on 1022 action, the same action used in the 1022 rifles, which really turns out to be one of the most versatile actions out there. You've seen the 1022 action in a whole host of different really cool stocks. I've seen a bullpup version of it, an Archangel version of it. There's quite a few different things you can do with this 1022 action. And Ruger has built this Charger. They have initially started it out as years ago they released it, and then they stopped it, and then they brought it back. So this is the recent iteration of it. It is classified as a pistol, so it's perfectly legal as you see it here as it comes from Ruger. There's a few things you want to be cautious of. For example, the action itself is the serialized part, not this stock or the barrel that's up at the front end. This happens to be the Takedown variant. There's also a version of it with a fixed barrel. But you don't want to take the action that came in this configuration and put it into a rifle stock, because at that point you'd be putting, effectively from ATF frags, you'd be putting a stock on a pistol. You could put the rifle barrel on and have a longer barrel, and that would be fine, but don't put this barrel onto a rifle action, or you would end up with a short-barreled rifle, and of course you'd be in violation at that point. But what you see sitting here on the table is perfectly legal. This is exactly the way it comes from Ruger. It comes with these little 15-round magazines, and they released this magazine for this gun. The other 1022 magazines, such as the 25-rounder, will fit, as well as the little 10-round box mags. So it'll come with one of these, but you can put any combination of these different magazines in it and it'll work perfectly. The 25-rounder will even fit up under it when it's up on the bipod, so I'll show you that. It's a little bit of a trick to get it up in there, but it'll fit. Of course, without the bipod, it's a little bit more cumbersome with that 25-rounder, so the 15-rounder that comes with it is a little bit better suited to it. But, like I said, you can also put the 10-rounder in there, and if I put it in the correct orientation, it'll fit perfectly. And then to take that one out, you kind of have to grab it with your fingers as you release it and kind of pull it out. That one doesn't come out quite as easily. So you've got quite a bit of versatility in the magazines. The 15-rounders are now readily available. When it first came out, they were kind of hard to get, but now they're readily available. And a few of the other features. Before we go a whole lot further, let me demonstrate that this is, of course, a clear gun. A couple of the other features of it. It comes in a varying number of stocks. This green laminate stock, I really liked it, and so I looked for this, but it's also available in a black polymer stock, a brown stock, and there's a host of different distributor exclusive variants on it that change some of the cosmetics, but overall they're all functionally the same. The grip on this version of it, which is the latest iteration of it, is a standard AR grip. So you can replace this with any AR grip you wanted. If you wanted to put a Magpul or some other variation on it, you simply unbolt this like you would on an AR, pop the grip of choice on, bolt it back up. The bipod that comes on it is, first off, it's adjustable, so you can adjust it and extend or release it, but you can also fold it up out of the way. So you can operate it with the bipod folded and out of the way. You also can remove the bipod by unscrewing this bolt right here. And the bolt will stay. I'm sure the bolt could be removed, but it's not intended to be. One thing to note is up underneath here is effectively a Picatinny rail. So you could remove the bipod from this Picatinny rail. But you want to be careful not to start putting a forward grip on there, because technically you could run into some trouble with the ATF with having a forward grip on a pistol. The configuration as it comes from Ruger, it's legal with this bipod, even though you actually could grab it with your hand and use it as a forward grip. It's not classified as such. So, but you want to be a little bit careful with what you put on that Picatinny rail if you do separate the bipod from the Picatinny rail to stay legal and stay compliant. The barrel on this is threaded. It's a 1/2 by 28 thread, so it's already set up and ready to go if you want to put a suppressor on it. You can put a suppressor on this with, you know, standard or low velocity 22, and you're actually going to have a very quiet little pistol. The Picatinny rail on the top of it comes with it, and you'll see we've put this Tru-Glo Red-Dot on it. You've seen this Red-Dot on several other rifles on our channel, and we actually have a review on this Red-Dot. I'll put a link in the comment section. But that was a perfect addition to this. And when I looked at this, I wanted it because it was cool. You know, it's kind of just got an interesting look to it. It's kind of unique. I didn't really take it seriously as something that you would get a significant amount of accuracy out of, and boy was I surprised. When I got this thing to the range, I found out it's amazingly accurate. It's exceptionally easy to shoot. It's exceptionally easy to get very tight groups, and with the bipod, you know, if you put the bipod out, you've got an extremely stable setup for aiming. So it really actually turned in some seriously tight little groups. You'll see that on some of the range footage. So if you were to put an optic like this Red-Dot or even a scope on this, you could actually take this seriously as a, you know, a target gun or even for varmint and small game. I will note that it doesn't come with any sort of sights. The Picatinny rail is bare, just like you see it without the Red-Dot. The intent is you're going to put some sort of optic on it. And yes, you could even put flip-up sights, you know, AR-style flip-up sights. But your sight radius would be rather short, and I think you probably would have a harder time getting tight groups with a setup like that. Overall, the 1022 is a very versatile platform. It's a very reliable platform. We have found that the 1022s tend not to like the hollow points. Whether you're using CCI or any other brands, they tend to exhibit a few issues with hollow points. But with any other standard ammunition, they just work. They're reliable, they eat mostly anything if you stay away from the hollow points, and they're a lot of fun to shoot. And it's an inexpensive way to go out and do some really cool target shooting. So a couple of the stats on this: it's 19¼ inches long from front to back. It weighs 3 pounds 3½ ounces, so it's not exceptionally light, but it's not ridiculously heavy either. You know, it's when you get into rifle pistols, which is effectively what this is, you know, similar in concept to an AK pistol or an AR pistol, they tend to be heavier than pistols that are set up to be pistols. But as that class of gun goes, these are actually fairly light, and you could shave a little weight by dropping the bipod if you weren't going to use it. You know, and you just hold it up under the stock like this. I found the bipod's actually a nice way to shoot it, set it up on the, you know, the desk at the range, and really nail this thing in. With the 10 round, 15 round, and 25 round capacity, you've got a lot of versatility. And it is really just, you know, well set up right from the get-go, ready to go. It retails for $450. You can often pick it up for $360, $350 or less. And if you don't get the laminate stock and you don't get the takedown, the price goes down even further. So it's a, you know, it's a very inexpensive little setup for something that's this known, this proven, and reliable. And there's a huge amount of aftermarket support for the 1022 platform, all sorts of different accessories and cool things you can get for it. One of the things that I'll show you in a separate video, we'll actually do a takedown on one of these, show you how to take it apart to clean it and oil it. But additionally, we'll show you how to replace the catch that allows you to make the bolt easier to operate. On this one here, the modification's already been done. If I lock the bolt back, I can release the bolt simply by pulling back on it and letting it go. On a stock 1022, you can't do that. You have to kind of do this complicated little dance between the bolt release and the bolt to try to get it to go forward. So I'll show you that modification. Really makes that annoyance go away. And actually, if I had to say if there's anything wrong with the 1022, it was that weird setup for the bolt catch. Eliminating that really completely eliminated anything you would want to complain about on this platform. It has a very nice trigger. It is a rimfire gun, so it's not advised to dry fire it, so I can't demonstrate the trigger. But it does have a very nice trigger. It's got a trigger that would be very similar to any other hunting rifle or any rifle that you're accustomed to. It's got a nice short take up, and it's got a nice crisp break. There are some triggers out there, aftermarket triggers, that take that even a step further. But in this case, the factory trigger is quite nice, and it does have a crossbolt safety. So you just pop the safety. Now, as this is based on a rifle action, it's not necessarily designed to be drop safe. It doesn't have the drop safety functions you would find in a classic pistol. But that's really not the design intent of this. It's not a carry gun. It's really not intended for that. This is more of a gun that you would either use at the range, or if you were using a varmint hunting, you would follow all the standard safety practices you would with any other. One thing I'll do is I'll take a quick second and show you the box it comes in. We don't often show the boxes the guns come in because it's getting to the point where pretty much all the higher quality guns come in a nice box. This one's a little unique in that it's the Takedown. So it comes in this relatively large box, which is, it's your standard padded plastic case. It's a well-constructed case. But the cool thing about it is when you put the Takedown in here, it's kind of reminiscent of, a sniper arriving on the scene and, opening up the Halliburton case with the pieces of the rifle in it and assembling it as they need to get ready to go. This box has a place for all the little parts. It even has removable cutout foam, which I have removed, with the assumption that you're going to put an optic of some sort on the gun. If you don't, there will be a foam block in there, and if you've got an optic, you pick, it's kind of like pick and pull, it pops right out. So it just wanted to show you it does come in a kind of, if you get the Takedown version anyway, it comes in a cool little box where you can put all the parts in, and it gives you ready access to assemble this. And if you close up the box, it's all in a single little easy to carry place, and that one slot along the side where I had the magazines, you could also stick a little bit of ammo. So you could also use this as kind of a bug out kit, as part of a bug out kit, all ready to go, pick it up and run. So hang on for some more range footage, see how easy this thing is to shoot well. And if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, check us out on Facebook, and have a great day. Thank you.
I was like, yeah, I thought I was good. One second.